The second is the lack of teachers. You have substitute teachers in every single class. Now, there's a segregation and a division at Barringer STEAM. You have classes that are being run by certified teachers, by students that, I don't know how, if everybody had to go through the Newark One system, how is it that there are certain students that have certified teachers, and then you have this real big gap of students that have substitute teachers and are placed in classes with 63 and 43 students? You know, my son, I didn't believe my son when he would come home, and I said, how can this be? Well, you know what? He came and he proved me wrong. He took pictures and photographs of kids sitting on the floor, sitting on desks, sitting on the radiator in a class, while a substitute teacher stands in a hallway blocking the door so none of the kids go outside. My son just received an English teacher. A certified English teacher was just hired, and she was hired on October 6th. Progress reports came out that same Wednesday. His progress report says, in danger of failing. How is he in danger of failing? You just got here. You haven't taught but 2 days. How is he in danger of failing when, one, he doesn't have the resources. He doesn't have books. I had a conversation with one of the certified English teachers at the school who told me that she doesn't even have the password to Power School where the kids have to do their homework for English. So if the teacher doesn't have it, the kids aren't going to have it.
We have 7 to 6 dummy schedules. They're not permanent. There's ESL students who are not being catered correctly. Barringer is the only high school with the ESL program. We have half of our students which are Spanish-speaking people, and they don't have enough teachers to teach them. There are staff where when incidents happen in Barringer, statements are not being recorded, so there's no proof. There's kids who are into fights and are being jumped, and there's nothing being written about what happened. Our library is being closed. What high school functions without a library? They say books and literature is food for thought, but we're not being fed. Overcrowdedness. We have a room where there's lunch tables, and we're there for 80 minutes. There's people who are sitting on desks, there's people who are sitting on window sills, there's people who are standing up and sitting down on the floor for 80 minutes. We have uncertified teachers. There's teachers who are teaching out of their subject field. There's people who are teaching ESL class who have no Spanish in their vocabulary.
So originally Newark Vocational wasn't on the list. Like, I guess that they were going to close it down with the One Newark fiasco. Somewhere along the way, you know, some parents spoke out. We got back on the list, but when the engineers went from Newark Vocational to look at Westside High School, where it was slated for our children to go, it was said that they wouldn't be able to house the culinary arts program. So I was very, very vocal about our children who are interested in culinary arts not being able to partake in that program. So in their infinite dundom, they've decided that our children will go to 2 schools. So my daughter gets up and goes to 301 West Kinney Street every day for 2 blocks of culinary arts, and then she gets bused to Westside High School. In that, my daughter, along with the other children who are in the culinary arts program, gets checked by security at 301 West Kinney Street. They get on a secured bus, and then they are checked again, like they're criminals, at Westside High School. I was there at the open house the other day, and our children in pre-calculus don't have books. Our children do not have lockers. The children at 301 West Kinney Street just started getting fed breakfast, the free breakfast that everybody was talking about.
I don't want my little sister, who's in the 5th grade, I don't want her, you know, growing up having to deal with what I did. You know, high schools being closed and shut. It's 35 to 45 students in each class. That's too much, and it's only 1 teacher. It's not 2 teachers, it's not 3 teachers, it's 1 teacher with 40 through 45 students. Where are the other seats? What is happening?
not only on a high school level, but look at elementary schools and how it affects our younger kids. Madison Elementary School was closed and turned into Legacy. Now with all those students sent to Hawthorne, which may soon be revisited and closed, fully turned into Kip Academy, meaning that the closest school for these babies to attend will be Belmont Runyon, which is way too far for them to travel.
First of all, my daughter didn't never have transportation. They said they wasn't providing transportation for my daughter because there's only one child. So she should be able to get on public transportation to go to Weequay High School, which she is in 7th grade, and they moved her school to Weequay. So I fought and fought with them until they finally sent the bus. After 2 weeks, she missed the first 2 weeks of school. They sent the bus, and they want her to be in front of Dayton Street School, which is a school that is closed, no security, no police officers, nothing. If you've been on Dayton Street School, you know, by Dayton Street, you know it's drug activity. You see prostitutes in front of that school. I see it, I know. I've been living there for 10 years, around here for 10 years. They went from 6:15, her being in front of Dayton Street from 6:15. I had to fight and tell them that was too early. They went to 6:30. That's too early. So 6:50, still too early, but I said, okay, let me try to work with them. I'm still telling them it's dangerous out there. I get a call, I have to be to work at 6 o'clock. They don't care about that. I am a single parent. I do not have any family members to help me with my child, so I'm doing the best that I can. I let her leave out. I tell her leave out at 6:40, and when she get in front of that school to please call me because my nerves is a nervous wreck. I have lost over 20 pounds since August fighting this stuff. And I get a call from her telling me that 2 men approached her and took her cell phone.
I wanted to say also that the one in preschool was misplaced. She lives in the projects, and right across the street is South Street School. She was misplaced. She was put in a kindergarten class when she belongs in a preschool class. So when they took her out, they gave her just one day, that Thursday, and they told her, you know what, she's in the wrong class. And the mom, not speaking any English, with the little bit of English that she knew, she was like, Alina, I told them, I said preschool. I thought they put in a preschool. They kept saying K, pre-K, pre-K, and I say yes, pre-K, and they put her in a K class, and she was just lost and confused. So when she called me, I went, I took her to Clinton Hill because that was a school that they told her that was next on the list that would take her in. Unfortunately, that school wasn't receiving anybody because it was closed. They already received enough kids.
You talking about opting in? That was one of the big phrases that's been thrown around, like parents opted in and opted out, but we didn't opt in for this. And so I must make it clear that Cammie really is not our problem. Cammie is a symptom of our problem. Amen. So we must focus and fight to rid ourselves and cure ourselves of our problem. And we do that by demanding local control. And it's important that we use our voters' rights because the same people who are at the helm of our destruction are the very same people who are plastering their flyers in our neighborhoods. And so we have to stand together and make it a point that we will no longer take this, and we will not sit still, and we will not sit silent because our children are the ones who are being affected by this.